For the longest time, I've always disliked social media. It never was something that I really cared for, especially putting the effort into highlighting yourself or highlighting your process. But recently, I've kind of had a change of mind with that. And it's been a gradual process. So it hasn't been something like it was a flip of a switch, but it was like little by little of understanding the value that it can provide. But before I even got to that point, it all came about really is understanding yourself. And I think that's the biggest thing is that when we see people on social media, when we see businesses, advertising and stuff, like sometimes it feels cringy putting yourself out there, especially when you don't know if this is something that you want to do long term. If you don't know the value that you actually provide, that imposter syndrome starts coming at you and it leaves you in a standstill that you just don't ever take action. You just share your work or sometimes not even share your work at all and you're frozen. And I was like that. Trust me, I was definitely like that. And it's taken me until year 9 of doing weddings and running this business to feel comfortable putting myself out there in front of the camera like I am right now and be able to speak. And the reason is because I understand the value that I provide, and I understand that I'm not trying to be anyone else. I'm not trying to showcase myself in a way that isn't authentic to who I am. And that came with a lot of time, a lot of reflection, a lot of understanding who I am and what I want to provide and what I want to explain and share with the world. And not everybody has to do that. But recently I decided okay, I want to put myself out there a little bit more. I know what I'm capable of. I know that I'm not the best creative out there and I don't claim to be. But a lot of people have hired me and I do have value to provide and share, not just for couples, but for creatives too as well. And so I started this rabbit race with social media. And look, I've tried everything. I've purchased the Osmo Action 5 Pro to get behind the scenes of weddings and try to post it and never really got traction. And then I tried the Ray-Ban Metas back in 2024 at the end of it when Generation 1 came out. Tried that. I didn't really connect with it. I didn't like the workflow of it. But most recently I said, you know what, let me give it a shot one more time. And so I went ahead and tried the Ray-Ban Metas. And well, let's just say that's been a interesting journey so far. Funny enough, at the end of the year, I decided, you know what, I'm going to try to get some behind the scenes and a little bit of everything, whether it's me setting up my gear, whether it's me, first looks, reactions, things of that nature, or just highlighting a little bit more of my process and then making, a Instagram title and caption that can go along with it and see if it works. And I'll put it into the trial reels where nobody who follows me sees it. And it's meant for Instagram to show it to new people. And if it's viable that it's going to be seen by new people, it can eventually get you new followers and new people to follow your page. And that was kind of the goal, right? Like for me, when I post certain topics that is over a minute long, I want it to share with my people that already understand me and know me, right? Instead of sharing it to the world to try to get new followers and stuff. So I give it a shot. And Ashley, who you may or may not have seen, but she had told me that her husband was like, I watched a video of him setting up his gear and I have no interest in cameras, but it was just satisfying to see everything getting set up and clicks. And that stuck with me. I didn't forget that. And that video, when I first posted, it actually did decent numbers, not crazy numbers. Like for me, decent is like 200 likes on it, a few saves, a few shares. So I remember that. Then I had on the following wedding weekend, I said, okay, I captured everything of me getting ready, my processes and what that looked like. And I saved that video and then I went to the next week and I never posted it. And then I decided to post it 2 days before my next wedding and I posted and it was getting traction. Before I knew it had 40,000 views. I was like, wow, this is crazy. And people started following me. So I recorded the same exact thing of just setting up the gear. And again, this time around, it's amassing. It hasn't stopped, but it has now up to like 380,000 views. I was like, this is crazy. And again, a whole bunch of new followers, new things. I'm like, this is kind of crazy. And then I've been posting more and more and more ever since after that, and then getting traction and views and stuff. And for me, I see it really interesting because I was like, What I believe to care more at weddings is the real moments that are happening, the bride and groom, the celebration that they're having. But because it doesn't feel personal and people like materialistic things, the materialistic things easily captures their attention. And so, I mean, if that's just the seed that gets them onto here on YouTube to watch this video, or onto the Instagram where I can create other content about the value of what weddings are to keep the human element alive, then so be it. It's the seed that, or the net that captures the fish, right, per se, using an analogy, that brings people over and to watch a video like this, to showcase that that's kind of crazy of our mentality, right? Like, people's moments are feels unpersonable, right, if the value isn't there. And so far, that's what this social media journey is kind of teaching me. But if I can use it to my advantage to then nurture that relationship here onto YouTube, I think it's a powerful method that can allow us to remember the importance of what it is that we actually do. And it isn't always about the gear. It isn't always about, what you have materialistically. It's really a lot more about what you value and what you're willing to put up with along this journey called life. Because we're all going to face obstacles. And these cameras, these things that are documented in this moment right now, isn't going to be here with us forever either. And I think those memories are way more important that's used with the cameras rather than the equipment itself. The equipment is important. I will always say that it's absolutely important. But what you're using to capture is the most important part of it all. So I'm using it to my advantage, and I'm going to continue filming and creating these Instagram content reels. And I've tried it on TikTok too. It doesn't get the same outcome. So I don't understand this whole social media game in that sense, but it's allowing new opportunities. And I think if you've been struggling with social media, I think it's keep trying, put no pressure at it. And me and my wife were having a discussion, is that it's kind of crazy that all this is finally working in my benefit, right? In terms of the social media going. And the best part about it is it's just me. I'm not pretending to be someone who I'm not. And it's effortless. I'm making 2 to 3 reels in 5 minutes, and they're working. And it's minimal effort. The most effort that I'm putting is here onto this YouTube channel to nurture this relationship and to showcase, reflections, which is this video, and then my other series called A Week in the Life as a Wedding Filmmaker, and showcasing what it looks like to be a wedding filmmaker, right? The business side, and then understanding, values in couples and being able to serve intentionally. It's extremely important, and I feel like a duty to showcase that because it isn't being showcased. And this is the most effort that I'm putting. And no matter what, whether someone's watching this or not, for me it's like a personal diary that allows me to reflect and understand my journey that I've gone through, and hopefully it helps anybody in the journey that you're currently on. That you're going to have hardships. You can overcome those hardships. You can design a business that's true to who you are without having to compromise your integrity, your values, and the way that you create art too as well. I think that can get lost easily. And so you can design it however you want. Play by your own rules and be able to create something that's authentic to who you are. And I think people are going to resonate with it. It wasn't until I was comfortable in understanding the value I provide, how I provide it, and what it looks like for my processes that everything is kind of clicking right now.